play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob says Dingo gonna find Rainer.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Our next round, our next matchup here, going to be between Skiggly's Wigglies and Saltscale Mrgles from Division B East. Now, I think I've got all the tickers off, so we shouldn't see any of those things popping up. But let's take a quick peek here at our maps. And Skiggly's Wigglies starting off with the bans on Alterac Pass along with Cursed Hollow. Saltscale Mrgles saying no Sky Temple or Dragonshire. And then game number one was the selection of Skiggly's Wigglies, and it's going to be Battlefield of Eternity. So just as a reminder, if you're just joining us here, since this is a prior patch, there are some differences. And because this is a replay cast, there's some differences. So because it's a replay cast, we're not going to have any drafts, so we won't know who the bans were. We won't know, you know, the order of the selections or anything like that. That's really the main difference for it being a replay cast. But because it's on a prior patch, the overlays don't look right. The system gets funky when you try to log into the game and everything. So just letting you know, we're not going to see the same setup for that. And it will actually start off a little bit loud. So if you hear some of the music there, I'm going to be turning that off as quickly as I can, so it doesn't blow your speakers out or your ears if you happen to be listening with headphones like I am. So, but anyways, welcome to the show tonight here. Sonic's bro, thanks for the follow. I don't think I shouted you out there earlier, but thanks for doing that. I think you did that while we were in between. Oh my goodness, it's so loud. There we go. All right. There's the game loaded, and time to get the options fixed so the sound is good, the scrolling is at least decent. All right, there we go. And I think I already have the team set up, if I have this correctly here. Just take a look to make sure that's correct. They are. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and get this started. Game number one between Saltscale Mrgles and Skiggly's Wigglies. My goodness. That's going to be on Battlefield of Eternity. All right, over here on the left, we've got Skiggly's. Is that correct? Hold on, that doesn't look right. Nope. Hold on, let me fix the names. These names are just slightly off on the spacing. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. Oh my goodness, even the... okay. Whatever, we'll deal with that later. Let's unpause the game, get these introductions done, as the names are on the right side anyways. On the left here, we have Son of a gun, I screwed it up again. Oh my goodness, guys. Hold up. Alright. So Saltscale's on the left. I gotta swap that. Just a moment while I get this fixed here. Where are those logos? Nope, not there. That's season 7. I need season 8, guys. Where's season 8 logos? You know what? Here, we'll just do this. And then we just swap these and we should be okay. Alright, Skiggly on the right, Saltscale on the left. The players are on the correct sides. The heroes are not, so I'm just gonna not do that overlay. That's fine. Such is life. That's what you guys get for playing on the wrong sides. Alright, going back over into the game. Sorry for the delay. Alright, on the left, we have Saltscale Mrgles. And on the right, we have Skiggly's Wigglies. It's going to be Idioms on the Thrall there. Chromie going to be played by Blastum. Marmara going to be playing the Malfurion Synchrony on the Hanzo, and Chopper going to be playing the Blaze. And over here for Skiggly's Wigglies, we got Skig on the Alarak, Jacopop on Mal'Ganis, Mosher going to be playing Raynor, Mommy's Milkies on Rhaegar, and Malthael on Smitty Werbin. Third time's a charm, right, Sonics? Like... it's so frustrating with the replays not being able to be done on the same patch. Like, it just throws everything off. So, anyways, the other thing that you will see is you won't be able to see the same overlay. This is what the overlay looks like normally. We're going to get rid of that because it's gross. But we'll pop it up occasionally so we can check on those talents that have questing talents, like the new habits that Blaze picked up, also Echo of Elements. Because, of course, this is before the patch, so that Rolling Thunder's not an option. Well, of course it's an option. It's just a little different of an option. Gannis going in deep, but so is Blaze, and Alarak getting the pull in onto that Blaze, looking to get a kill there, but not quite able to do so. Thrall getting fairly low here, has almost no mana after dealing with this Malthael up in the top lane here. But Jacopop once again falling low, pops that ability that I don't know the name of. So why don't we take a look? What is the name of that ability there, Mal'Ganis? Necrotic Embrace. Thank you. Appreciate you helping us out there with that. Mosher getting pretty low on the Raynor here. The root coming out onto Mal'Ganis, but he is able to hit the Night Rush and get out of there. Blaze also pretty low, having to pull back. Neither team yet onto any of the camps. But Thrall, this time with the tap earlier, is able to get a lot of damage onto Smitty Werbin there. And we're going to see on the right here the Skiggly's Wigglies pulling back toward their base, waiting for these minions to come in. And the Sonic Arrow gonna scout out the Alarak, who was just checking, just taking a look what's going on there in the bot. And up here, let's kind of watch these guys for a little bit. Thrall versus Malthael. Thrall doesn't have a lot of mana, as Raynor gonna come up here and rotate in to help Malthael pick up the camp. That should open up this bottom camp for Saltscale, and it does. In fact, they get it pretty quickly. They have more people on it. Thrall is getting some poke damage here, but again, not a lot of mana, sitting about 20% mana there, and I mean two, pretty decent damage heroes that he's trying to poke into as well. So it has to be a little bit careful. With this siege camp though, Chromie popping off on those Qs. Let's take a quick look at the talents. 6 stacks here for Chromie, 7 for Hanzo, 5 for new habits, and 12 for Echo of the Elements. It's going to be Meltdown, by the way, there for Blaze at level 4. So looking to reduce the damage of those enemy heroes when he pops Pyromania. And the Immortals make it onto the map. The Shaman Camp able to be picked up there by Malthael. But Malthael's pretty low now. And Mal'Ganis is far away from his team. He gets the jet propulsion, gets rooted, stunned here in that area by the Immortal then. So Skiggly's is going to have to pull back. Jet Propulsion looking to get the Mal'Ganis, and they do. That's the first blood of the game going over to the Saltscale Mrgles. Hanzo getting the rotation up. Does have the level 4 additional damage to monsters with his scatter arrow, so he's going to do a significant amount more on the race. Although it is still slightly ahead here going over to the Skiggly's Wigglies. Zoom this out. And both teams, well, I was going to say both teams looking to race, but ultimately it's Skiggly's that's racing. Saltscale looking to come in. They do get the route out onto Mal'Ganis. He uses that Night Rush to get a couple of sleeps, but the body block's coming in. That's going to be a dead Mal'Ganis. Was this? No, it's not. Okay. I was going to say, I saw the Fueled by Torment. I thought maybe that was Winged Guard. So about half of the shielding available here for the Immortal as Skiggly's Wigglies getting the first Immortal of the game. They rotate 3 down, but the root coming in, Skig in a bit of danger here on the Alarak, having to pull back. And we see here, it's not easy to see, but both Raynor and Alarak there had those little, you know, down arrows or chevrons indicating their reduced damage, which came from Blaze. And, you know, those jet propulsions in with the Pyromania following after it. Keep an eye on that, because you're going to see those heroes drop in damage pretty significantly, 35% by itself. And it's going to be Mal'Ganis falling up in the top lane. I was just about to zip up there, but he's already gone. Sorry, guys. Adiums, I'm sure that you did a great job killing the Mal'Ganis up in the top lane here. As Thrall now going to head back, fill up on that health. Now, I'm not sure how much that changes at level 10, depending on the ultimates that they take here. If maybe Mal'Ganis has an opportunity to get that. The time trap going out onto Mal'Ganis, and that's going to lead to a nice, easy route. Jet Propulsion is going to miss there, so Mal'Ganis able to make it out. Mal'Ganis is rotating down into the bot lane, possibly looking to help defend and maybe find a kill here. I'm assuming is what we're going for. And Mal'Ganis fully committing, coming into the lane, so this is going to give Thrall all the knowledge he needs to know that he can push freely up top. They're already up a full level. I'm not entirely sure there if maybe Mal'Ganis pulled the trigger just a little bit too early, thus coming out into the lane and being seen. But ultimately that puts him just a little bit behind on the XP from where they were anyways. I think they lost a couple of points in XP up here, a couple of minions. But this should give a nice hefty lead here. Level 10's not going to be coming up before the Immortal, but certainly shortly thereafter for the side of Saltscale Mrgles. We're all getting pretty low here. Like, if this was level 10, and if Smitty Werbin there had last rites, that would have been a dead Thrall. Which is why I was saying, I don't know if it changes at level 10, if it makes it more likely that Mal'Ganis wins that fight. Pyromania was used there by Chopper, so of course, Meltdown reduces the damage, but also Pyromania increases the armor of Blaze, so at least for a few seconds, Blaze is pretty much just, like, unkillable. I mean, you do no damage, he takes no damage. Very hard to kill Blaze during that Pyromania. And level 10's coming up here for the side of the Saltscale Mrgles. With that in mind, I expect to see a camp invade here, a big Dragon's Arrow as Chromie get loads of damage there with her Dragon's Breath. Idioms is going to fall on the point there. The Temporal Loop coming out, and that's going to be a triple kill so far. Rhaegar making it out there as Alarak down south, getting away from Hanzo here. And the Camp Steel is going to keep that Shaman pushing up into the top lane. That eventually does clear itself out, but still not something you want to have going onto your camp or onto your fort, especially with an Immortal coming up. And it's going to go into the top lane, so at least they're already here to defend this for Skiggly's Wigglies. And here comes the Immortal. Pretty close to full shield on this Immortal, so it's going to be able to get a lot of value. I fully expect that this fort's going to go down, although there are level 10s here on the side of Skiggly's as well. Jacko Pop going to get that temporal loop. Okay, never mind. Got cleansed out of it. I was going to say I was surprised a little late on the Carrion Swarm to avoid it, but the cleanse prevented the temporal loop anyways. The root coming out onto Mrgles once again, and look at, oh my gosh, there's so much damage. The Hanzo Aero coming in, gonna get the kill. And full retreat call for Skiggly's Wigglies here, as Rainer gonna be caught as well. And the random also root onto Skig there. Skig getting rooted on the wall from Malfurion. And this Immortal's still pretty healthy. It's still sitting about 80% of its health. And it's gonna make its way onto the fort here. And there's no ranged damage, so it's very difficult for Skiggly's to get in onto this Immortal. They're gonna get the sleep out onto the Blaze, but the Immortal already down. Blaze gonna drop that bunker. And yeah, I was gonna say, I think that this is the opportunity for them to pull back here. The Immortal's gonna die shortly and go find some value somewhere else on the map here. And right now it looks like they're gonna head down to the bottom lane, maybe get this siege camp. We see the pings calling for this shaman camp as well, so they might look for both potentially. They do have level 13 talents. Let's see, not a big fan of Scatterer build Hanzo these days. Probs helps a lot for the race though. Yeah, I mean, that's 100% the reason that they go Scatterer on this map, because it's just so much value into the Immortals. Having 7 of those arrows pop off is pretty crazy. But Chromie also does a lot. She doesn't have that extra clone yet. She's still 2 off from that. So, I mean, they do have pretty significant race either way. That's Google taking their piece. Taking their piece of what? I don't know. Oh, for the dollar, for the difference in the sub price. Gotcha. Bottom fort is taken out. And Skiggly's is on the defensive here. They're down a talent tiers. They're, in fact, down 2 levels. So before too long, they may be having to fight into an Immortal with 16 versus not 16. And that's going to be a real challenge for them. Well, the good news is the Immortal's coming out now, so they can probably get to level 13s and have an even talent tier fight. But Malthael scoping them out. Thrall isn't here, so this is as good of a fight as they're going to get. And they started off with a kill on Hanzo, which is great. Deep Breath, however, going into the full team. Temporal Loop going out onto the Mrgles. No time for that Carrion Swarm in that one. Silence used, and Blaze is going to drop the bunker, so no last rites on him. Jet Propulsion is going to get absolutely nowhere, but they get the kill onto Rhaegar. And Chromie popping off with these Sandblasts, hitting both Malthael and Rainer, getting the kill onto one of them. And it's Alarak left alone trying to make it out of this just absolute utter chaos. So there you go. Now, halftime going to be pretty easily picked up here for Saltscale Mrgles. And they're going to work on pushing in through this bottom lane next. Catapult's already down here, so Skig and Jacko Pop trying to clear this up as quickly as they can before Immortals come. And Hanzo's going to leave that Sonic Arrow, knowing that that's the most likely direction for the enemies to come in, trying to come in through the gate there. And Jacko Pop standing in the bush, but didn't take advantage of Hanzo literally walking right into him. Skig, however, using that Counter-Strike, trying to stay alive. Carrion Swarm coming out from the Mrgles. And Alarak not able to survive that blast there. Rainer using the Adrenaline Rush trying to get out. Mommy Milky's trying to get away as well. Smitty Werbin getting the last rights this time onto Blaze, as no bunker available this one. As Malthael will fall as well. Omega lol. Yeah. 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 Sometimes the names, when they're moving like that, it can be hard to see one name with the other names right over top of it. So, and this Immortal's going to take this keep down. It is a 5v5 here. There's some catapult pressure behind this Immortal. I'm sorry, this is a 4v5. Blaze is still not available. So even with level 16 talents, I think that they have to push in hard. I mean, they can't be defensive on this. The core's already falling. We're going to see the Immortal continue to pressure there, and Mal'Ganis getting just really low. The Dragon's Arrow is going to land, but a big heal there from Rhaegar, keeping him alive, and they're killing the minions. Like, kill the Immortal, guys. The Immortal's the one that's going to kill your core. I think that they needed to kill that Immortal a little bit faster. So there you go. What didn't you want me to see, Jordomax? Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think either way it works out. Obviously, if you're in there, then it wins harder. I think that with the disengaged call there, I think that Skiggly's had a chance. But they split their damage and let the Immortal do enough to the core to succeed there. All right, let's go ahead and get set up for the next game. Let's see, that one went over to Saltscale. And let's see, what is game number 2 going to be? Game number 2 is going to be on Braxis Holdout, so another 2-lane map. A lot of brawling over this. It's going to be the map pick of the Saltscale Mrgles. Another one was as well, right? Yeah, okay. And let's get logged back in. I don't fully understand why they have that set up either. Like, why can't we use an observer overlay if we're watching a game? Yes, she has been all about being up in the lab tonight. All right, there we go. Game number 2, Braxis Holdout. Let me fill in the teams because I like having that little pop-up window. I know it takes a couple moments here to fill it out, but it's nice. It looks nice. Got some heroes here that are that have recently been buffed. All right, all set up. There we go. Let's take a quick peek at the maps here, and then we'll get the game loading as, or I'll just do the loading of the game while the maps are up here. So bans originally started here with the ban on Alterac Pass and the ban on Cursed Hollow from Saltscale Mrgles. Actually, I don't think that's correct. I think I need to swap those two. Let's see. That is correct. That is incorrect. So let me swap those here. And then I just got to put all these back to blue. And oh man. All right, there we go. Updated maps. Come on, game. Thank you. Updated maps. Saltscale Mrgles banned Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow were banned by Skiggly's Wigglies. The selection, first one was there on Battlefield of Eternity, that was one, and picked by Saltscale Mrgles. The second game, also picked by Saltscale Mrgles on Braxis Holdout. You may have heard there, the game is loaded up, so just going to fix the sound, and then we'll get going into game number 2. All right, here we go. On the left, we've got the Saltscale Mrgles. There we go. All right, so we've got Blastum on Imperius, Synchrony on Greymane, Chopper on Garrosh, Idioms on Gul'dan, and Marmara on Aero.
10 seconds.
Oh, I'm definitely going now. Over here to the right for Skigglies, we've got Mosher on Maya, Mommy Milky's on Malfurion, Skig on the Rexar, Jackopop on ETC, and Smitty Werbin on Kael'thas. All right, here we go. Top lane. That's all we're looking at this whole game. Top lane. We're not even going to go to the bot lane. Looking forward to it then. Yeah, I might miss some of it anyways here, so we'll just kind of have to see if we can keep track of what's going on throughout this game and try to pay attention. But Imperius versus Rexar, so that is an interesting matchup. Imperius looking to try to get those charges onto Rexar when he can. I mean, they might want me to watch top lane. It doesn't happen very often, so, you know, that could be part of it. Like, hey, look at us. What do you mean, Rexar? What? What is simply what? Did I say something? I don't even know. Anyways, he wants the Celestial Charge onto the Rexar if he can, because then he can eliminate both of them. But of course, that becomes a little bit harder when you've got a brick wall of Amisha in front of you here, as right now in the bottom lane, we're getting a little bit more push out of the Saltscale Mrgles. They've got the wave clear advantage here to push the lanes up. You're going to be looking for the Kael'thas here in the bot. Smitty Werbin getting a little bit of damage there, getting that gravity lapse. Synchrony going to have that living bomb and is going to spread it. And that's going to be the first kill of the game, going over to Skiggly's Wigglies this time. Galaxy Brain misdirection. There you go. In the bottom lane, back to the bottom lane here. As the Imperius versus Rexar, I'm sorry, Imperius versus Misha up in the top lane has now begun. Oh wait, Garrosh is following low. Let's keep an eye on this here. The tether coming in, Umbral Bind is going to land onto the Rexar. Dude had 50 armor. That means he had under 1% health. But it's going to be ETC who falls. They're looking at Mommy Milky's Malfurion. It was Rhaegar last game. Getting that hot up and keeping Malfurion alive there. 66%, 2/3 of the channel completed here so far for Skiggly's Wigglies. As Rexar coming back onto the point with that Misha. I can't believe that Garrosh made it out. I don't think I've ever seen 50 armor on Garrosh unless he was dead. Even when he's dead, often it's 49. Unless there was something else. There's not anything else that gives him armor, right? I don't know. But anyways, here comes Corruption onto ETC, bringing him down to about 2/3 the zoning route. But ultimately, Garrosh is able to walk away. Really looking for this camp, though. And the team is split. Skiggly's Wigglies having to be careful here. I think Kael'thas probably could have... Yeah, okay, there you go. I was going to say, I think Kael'thas could have gotten a lot of value with living bombs off of those minions but Mosher and now Jackopop looking very low. So far, 2 kills in the other direction, though. A Saltscale falling maybe a third here, as Synchrony going to fall, and does Marmara gets away here on the Aero? All right. Oh, my goodness. Oh, so Marmara there having to dodge Misha. And that's going to give more charge over here to the side of Skiggly's Wigglies. And a full Zerg wave. Now that's going to be coming in the lane with Rexar up top, with a little bit going into the bot lane here. So we're going to see a pretty significant rotation up from Saltscale Mrgles to try to address this this massive Zerg wave. There's nothing wrong with this top lane. Absolutely played perfectly. Well, at least for right now, It looks perfectly for Skiggly's Wigglies. They've got this Zerg wave coming in now. Gul'dan does a lot of damage to this Zerg wave, so he is clearing it out fairly quickly. Certainly faster than Rexar's clearing out in the bot lane there. Celestial Charge is going to land there on the ETC, but no follow-up to keep him locked down. His level 7 talents here are picked up for Skiggly's, a little bit in advance of Saltscale. But so far, just the front wall down. Now down in the bottom, we have just as much taken out here with the Greymane. Also getting the kill on Misha. So not too shabby for Synchrony there to make use of that fairly small Zerg wave. The pings are looking for Greymane, but they're not going to be able to get him. Just not enough damage there between the Rexar and ETC. Need the Misha to get a charge or something. And ETC just doesn't have that staying power. You already used that. Greymane is going to have the tether, the Umbral Bind. This time, ETC is going to help to make sure that that one goes down. But let's go back to our top lane, shall we? See what's going on up here. Now it's Imperius versus Malfurion, and I feel like that might be a little bit of a mismatch. I think Mommy Milky's definitely has the advantage there. And we'll see. Root coming out. There's this Misha charge. So many different charges in this game. But we've got a fight over this bottom siege camp here. And ETC's knocking them off, but there are just too many blue health bars here for Skiggly's to stick it out. They do not, however, lose any heroes. Perfectly dodged route that you walked right through. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So Rexar grabbing that globe. Now Rexar took the hunter-gatherer quest there. Eventually gonna get 15 armor for both Rexar and Misha out of those globes, needing 25 globes. And also getting a little bit of additional passive healing with that increased regen per second. What build do we have out of Kael'thas? So going Sun King's Fury here, so the additional damage when living bombs spread, so have to be mindful of positioning with those living bombs if you're the opponent, of course, of Kael'thas. But also Kael'thas needs to be mindful of where he's placing those. You know, who's he going to put them on? Or oftentimes what I find is better is not putting them on players, but putting them on, say, a minion or a Zerg minion or something like that are a little bit harder for sometimes heroes to see, and makes it a little bit more likely that they will spread that bomb. Ah, there's the Celestial Charge actually hitting both, but Misha saying, no, not today, sir. Down in the bot lane, though, Idiom's draining the life of Mosher, just barely staying alive, but it's going to be Kael'thas falling first here. And Tranquility coming out, trying to heal up the ETC. The Curse Bullet coming out. Warlord's Challenge, and then the Horrify. A lot of ultimates to get the kill onto ETC. Is it worth it? ETC's dead, so I'm going to go with yes. Especially since Curse Bullet is like 30 seconds, so... We hate ETC, says Jordan Max. Exactly. Misha. Okay. Misha's so close. Oh. Synchrony not able to get that cocktail that would have taken out the bear. Now, Skig up here is a little bit low on mana, so can't sustain the bear if you have no mana. And it's a 2v1, so in theory we should... Oh, there's the stage dive coming in, getting knocked back onto the point. And Smitty were been taking all kinds of damage from that corruption. But with this camp going in the top lane and Skig not having any mana, I don't see any world where this doesn't lead to a fort, unless we get a rotation from bot in the near future here. And it's Greymane and Imperius, so if Greymane was actually paying attention there, I think that becomes a kill onto Rexar. But it is just a kill onto Misha, and Skig finally calling it quits, recognizes there's nothing he can do to address this. So top fort is going to go down here in a moment. And now Marmara, though, in trade may fall, but not quite able to get that lockdown. Pyroblast got interrupted by the Horrify, and ETC's going to fall thanks to that fort. No minions there to tank those shots. And the living bomb did go out onto Garrosh there, so getting some damage. And there you go. All right. Curse Bullet coming in. But Skiggly's pulling away as the channel is going to get flipped back over here and started for, or not started, but finished up for Saltscale Mrgles. And this is a dangerous place. This is going in top lane already into a keep. So we're going to need to see a heavy rotation, pretty much like 100% rotation. Every single player on the side of Skiggly's needs to be up here. And they got to, in fact, I would have, honestly, I would have even left Rexar up here. Like, this is going to get so much value if they don't clear this out quickly. The best cooldown you've ever seen? Fair enough. Certainly the best cooldown in this game. There's the power slide in, but ETC gonna get the Warlord challenge, and the Zerg just going ham on that ETC. Ham? Clearly they were going beef. Or maybe they just had a beef with him. I don't know. Looks like Maiev gonna get the quick stun there from Chopper. But this Zerg wave is already through the wall. And all of the... I don't remember what they're called. The big ones on the ground. Gone. Blastem gonna get the Crystal Aegis. And Pyroblast coming in. So there's no Crystal Aegis, but there is Angelic Armament, so Blastem will be just fine. But these Guardians are still up. They'll fall soon. ETC kind of fishing around there. And this keep almost all the way gone here. Power slide coming in. There's the gravity lapse looking for Blastem. Do they get it? Do they get it? It's so close. They do get it. I'm sorry. Stage dive coming in. Was looking for somebody, but everybody kind of just walked away. They said, this isn't our dance party today, buddy. But with the kill onto Imperius and equal talents here, Skiggly's needs to find something here. And it looks like they're going to get it out of Idioms. There's no structure bot lane for them to worry about. I think that they go boss at this point, right? And they do. So a little bit late on the rotation. I think that having Rexar here is helpful. Like, this kind of a thing, you need to have all five. This delay with not having Rexar here puts them at risk. And we can see Garrosh is sniffing it out. He does have Indomitable, so he can just walk in there and throw people out. The zoning route. But again, this isn't dying fast enough, and Malfurion is not the healer you want for this, and they're going to get the kill onto ETC. Malfurion just doesn't do a lot of healing on that. I think Rexar needed to be there for them to get that fast enough, and also to use Misha as a zoning tool. Misha does get taken out just by the last bullet there from Greymane. Did I see it? No. Okay. I thought I saw a Pyroblast animation there. Idioms baited me to death. Yep, see, there you go. And that's going to be bot fort down now. The boss still pretty healthy, sitting about 80%. Full team is up, but the self-charge does get Misha. And Misha's very low, but does have all of the health. At some point there, Hunter-Gatherer was completed, so the 15 armor is helpful as well. And the boss sitting about half health. It's getting some damage pretty quickly onto this fort, so the defense needs to happen here. There's the, oh my goodness, the big three-man Warlord's challenge. Smithy Wurbin somehow surviving, but not Misha. As Blastem going in, looking for that ETC, did get the stun Crystal Aegis coming out. And Idioms there taking some damage from that Flame Strike. So bottom keep down, top keep has a sliver of health. And 16's now available here for Saltscale Mrgles. Not only are they going to get started on the channel, but they're also going to get the siege camps going in either lane. Now, the rotation's coming up into top here, so if Misha can get a good stun, they do. There's a follow-up stun, and good night to Greymane. Celestial Charge used to get over the wall there. Blastem now mounting. Could get caught here if either of those two had a charge, but it looks like they don't. It's hard for me to look at the talents in this set. I mean, I realize they're up at the top, but it's not quite the same. Very small talents at the top of your screen there. Probably smaller for you guys if you're not on a widescreen. Maiev gonna get thrown there. Does have the Umbral Bind out. Uses the Warden's Cage. Pulling Idioms back in, but Crystal Aegis is going to keep Idioms alive. But the Pyroblast onto Chopper is going to get largely negated there. But it doesn't matter. They get 2 kills. ETC the counter kill, though. And now Blastum just barely dodging that Gravity Lapse. But there's still a Siege Camp going in the bot lane. So Fort is going to be taken out. That at least gives some occasional catapult pressure in the top lane to kind of counteract what's going on there. And give a little bit of defense here to Skiggly's Wigglies. This is going to need to be addressed. And Rexar is going to be the one to do it. Getting some charge here started for Skiggly's as Mosher, as you can see, very, very healthy over here. And we're going to see a little bit of a bush party. So a root going out, Gravity Lapse as well, but neither landing there as Greymane walking right back out. Saltscale rotating on their way into the bot lane to get the channel started again. We did see that Solarian's Fire used to check that bush. Yeah, exactly. Don't mind just running into that bush. Well, you know what? And we saw it in the last game too. Like, some of these bush checks are, you know, working out okay because the follow-up's just not there. Gravity Lapse is going out onto the Garrosh, getting the Living Bomb, but the Crystal Age is coming in. ETC gets the Power Slide into the backline, but the Horrify coming out. Chopper getting pretty low, surrounded by red health bars. It's going to be Maiev, however, falling first as ETC using the Stage Dive. Garrosh does go down, and the Angelic Armaments just obliterating ETC here. The Pyroblast is going to hit Gul'dan, but he's just fine. Smitty Warbin very low, has to be careful, but the Celestial Charge missing. But the Zerg Wave is on its way. And I don't know that Kael'thas alone does enough AoE damage to bring this Zerg Wave down. Oh, a good route there, keeping Blastum from catching on to Malfurion. So at least is good. I mean, that's a good solid way to start that, because there's at least a little bit of a wave here. They can try to get some more damage onto the Zerg Wave. They're level 16, so there is that value. I don't know. I don't know if this is game over or not. I mean, 100%. It's game over if Kael'thas keeps chasing people. Smitty, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? You're losing your core, guys. No. Ah. Ah. Oh man. All right, so 2 games in a row, we gotta have some like evaluation of priority targets, right? If the Zergs come in, it's gonna melt your hey, that's enough. But Alice agrees with me. The Zerg's coming in, if you have an Immortal coming in, you gotta deal with that. Like, especially if the enemy team is disengaging, like you don't chase them. You don't need to chase them. Gotta finish the stuff. Look at 7 value. Oh my goodness, got 14 out of the 15 that you needed to reduce the cooldown on the Greymane. There you go. There you go. I'm calling it out for you there. Blast him. Looking for that. So, I mean, 11 kills to 12. I don't feel as though, in general, Skiggly's Wigglies was that far off in the team fights. I felt like they were able to get some picks. They were able to trade off in both games, really. It's just that they didn't get as much value when they won a team fight. And again, I mean, it's just a matter of target priority, right? Sometimes you have to pay attention to, you know, the objective that's coming at you, and sometimes you have to focus on the heroes. So I think that if Skiggly's, you know, cleans that up just a little bit, I think that they have a much more balanced game, and they put themselves in a position to potentially win some of these games. There were 2 games. That's just my expert post-game analysis. So good game. 2-0. Saltscale Mrgles ultimately taking the victory there in Division B East. Let me give them their point. And while we're at it, why don't we take a look and see where Saltscale Mrgles is in the overall standings, along with Skiggly's Wigglies. All right, so as you can see, Saltscale Mrgles tied for first with Regen Phoenix. Seems like I'm familiar with that team from somewhere. We also have Skigglies, Wigglies there, sitting at number 11 right now. They've taken a point off of 2 teams. I don't recall which teams, but ultimately they lost both of those games, or both of those series, but they did get a point off of them. I want to say that one was Jailbait, and maybe the other was Bread Rising, I think? Maybe? I don't know. But ultimately, those are the standings as they sit right now, 3 weeks into Season 8. So there you go. That's it. That's it. We're done. It's 11 o'clock at night. We cast 2 replays tonight. I'm going to be doing some more tomorrow, so I don't know exactly who I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a mix, some that are of the old patch, some of the new patch, because these take a little bit longer because I have to load up the game and all that crap in between each. You know what? I will say Saltscale does look like a pretty hot contender. I'm looking forward to playing against them when we get to that game here in a couple weeks. But Divby, has some pretty solid competition. I think that there's some really good on both sides, West and East, some really good teams to keep watch on. And anyways, let me take a look here, see what we've got in the replays, and just so you guys are aware, I'm going to be starting that probably about 2 o'clock tomorrow. Hey, can you duck down just a little bit? No? Okay. Let's see. So we got those 2. So there are basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to not double up. Just don't ban Chen, fair enough. I'm trying to not double up on divisions. So we've got a B West and a B East. I could probably do both of those next. C and D. So maybe I will do. Maybe I'll just pull those 4. Those are the next 4. They're all on the older patch. But if that's the case, what we'll see tomorrow, we've got Spooky Ghost versus You Are Not Alone. Then we've got Party Time versus Chaos of the Waking Dragon. That's B West and then B East. There's one here for Wood League versus Please Clap. SSM is my pick from Division Champs. All right, fair enough, Ziltwood. So Wood League versus Please Clap is a C East. We may get that tomorrow. And then D West, Ghosts of Yavapai CMY CCASTT versus We the Pit Vegas. So those are probably going to be the ones we do tomorrow. We may sneak in one that's not an old patch though, because I know I'm not going to name names, but some people wanted to do a replay cast with me, so I may be able to rip one of the more recent ones. Alrighty, that's it. And Ziltwood, I'm not gonna give you any crap over the good players and solid team overall comment, as if there's not another team of good players that's a solid team, but that's okay. Could totally do the Saltscale game from yesterday tomorrow. I could. I mean, that's a possibility. Probably won't, just because of the fact that I did this today and I've got a couple Bs that at least one of those I'm gonna run tomorrow. So I want to, for me, I would prefer to get these older replays done myself so that there's more opportunity for the newer casters to pick up some of the ones that came out more recently. They don't have as many challenges that they have to deal with. It just makes it a little bit more likely that somebody will pick them up. Hopefully we're not about to get a patch in the next couple of days as well, because, getting 2 patches, that just doubled up the number of casts that have to be done this way. So. But anyways, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to take a look and see if there's anybody doing anything here with HOTS. And see if we can raid over to them. Fan is playing Heroes of the Storm. You know what? I'm going to send you guys over to Gravesville, as he is playing some Heroes of the Storm. And if you want to, go somewhere else, you can. Gravesville, also caster of Div S, so make sure you give him a follow. And again, thanks, guys. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a great night.